So it's really funny. I found this vinyl since I've been cleaning out some of my mom's old stuff that has confirmed something existed that I thought was not possible. I thought my mom just made it up. She used to sing me about Miss O, who was obstinate, um, ascribing that adjective to me. He's obstinate. And I thought there's no way it's a kid's show talking about the letters that they would pick obstinate for O. Turns out they did. It's something called the Letter People. And there's a I love the song. It's on YouTube. Despite how hard it is to search for things on YouTube nowadays, I was able to find it. Yeah.
I miss, oh, I'm obstinate, so obstinate, so obstinate, which is just the opposite of doing what somebody wants you to do when they want you to do it.
I sent this, my friend Laura is so great at singing, and the style of it matched kind of how, I think it matched her voice a lot, so I asked her to sing it. And I was like, oh, does it remind you of anyone? And she's like, oh, yeah. And it's one of those situations where I was thinking it reminded me of my mother. And she was like, oh, I thought this reminded you of you. You were obstinate. And I said, what? I do exactly as I'm told. I'm a good girl. And she's like, well. And here I am recording a video when I said I wasn't going. That's the point she made. She made also the point about like making drawings and whatever about Danny. It's like you're always crashing out saying, "Oh no, we're not doing this anymore." A week later, you're back to it. It's like, yeah, okay. Never beating the allegations. But anyway, we'll try to keep this brief because it's really what the issue was. I think with the videos is like they're just too long. But I wanted to talk about Danny's new background just because it is fascinating to me and really, really beautiful. Very obvious. I think that there's a designer involved. And I suspect with the rest of his house as well, which is one of those moments where it's like, damn, we live in different worlds, you know? Like, I can't imagine like someone living in a house someone else designed. That's crazy. I realized like there's some inherent like self-deprecation, I guess, and I would hate to live in a place that felt fancier than I am, to like live in. Like I'll go to a fancy hotel and feel like a party crasher, and there's kind of some joy in that. That's like I just feel like a little gremlin running around the palace, and that's fine. But actually living in a place that looks so nice, I don't know, it would wig me out. But um, it's for it is for some people, and also that's kind of a state of mind because my parents are actually pretty well off. Like my father built up enough of a nest egg that for the most part, except with the memory care that's coming up, the money that he made, the amount of money that the wealth advisors that do wealth advisor magic shit with, basically his money makes enough money a month that he can like it can sustain itself, which is a significant amount of money. And so in terms of that raw number, they've always been well off. And they did stupid stuff like they stupid, very smart stuff. Like they bought their house with cash. No mortgage, just cash. My dad bought his Tesla with cash. No loan, just literally cash. And they can do that because we in other ways live like middle class or even lower middle class family. You don't really spend on anything except like eating out too much. But we still go to like a Motel 6. We still fly on Southwest. Like, anyway, yeah, it's funny how much like wealth is more than the number. or like there's like an element of sociology, I guess, to what it means to be wealthy. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just, you know, in Danny's video about the robots, that sketch he did, it's scrubbing time, and then cut to the Daddy Warbucks ass shower setup. Oh, is that rude? I'm really genuinely not trying to make fun. I think it's hilarious and I think it's wonderful. I'm so happy for him. The intrusive thought I had is because it's like square, like behind glass. I wanted him to, excuse me, have it set up like an aquarium. And then you could sit in it like a mermaid. You sit in the bathtub like a mermaid, like scales. You know, mermaids are real. Maybe not with the like stiff mask version. Maybe a nice looking mermaid tail, but like, you know, just like hang little doodads from the ceiling, and maybe like some kelp, and I don't know. This is why I'm not allowed to be an interior designer, because like with my art, I would probably make what a 12-year-old girl thinks is cool, as opposed to what would look sophisticated and expensive. Anyway, this was definitely a setup done by a designer, and I think it's interesting to look at because I think it's a nice opportunity to look at some more secondary tricks when it comes to composition, you know, beyond like the 3/4 rule. Particularly the one that I notice in this is the little, medium, big. And that's a thing that is, when you have different elements here, I'm going to use red. When you have different elements in your composition, you want them to have differing levels of importance or size so that your eye kind of knows where to focus. So I'm going to start with this example. Let's see. So you see this end table here, and this shelf to Narnia here, and then this table here. So we have small, medium, large, although these two are kind of too similar in size, I think. But I think the principle, that's what it's supposed to be. That kind of creates a sense of balance. And also now you have this little one here, and you have this big one here, and you can see how it gives the composition a nice little sense of asymmetry, but in like a balanced way. And it's all in these little, sorry, small, medium, large, I guess. Oh, sorry. They're related to this color. So I have the color palette here. The main colors are this like, what would you call this? Like a desaturated orange color, this mahogany sort of brown red color, and then this dark green. So we have the red and the green complementary colors. And that's why, even though like these two colors value-wise, like the end table and then like the potted plant, very similar value-wise, you still kind of can see the green because it's exactly the complementary color, the green to the red. And so this is how we have like these big shapes. But then, so we also have with this manila color, we have the small. So here we have the small, medium, large, right? And here too, you have that nice balance. And the thing is, you can see here, I can't point to it very well, but on the left side here, you can see when Danny's in frame. It's nice because he has that. You can see how this outfit particularly like is a design choice also. It's fitting in with the background. This white brings him forward. Like, you can see, I'm very sure there is color grading going on here that is making this look yellow. And I can say that because they've desaturated his eyes almost to the point that they're like gray instead of blue. So there's a lot of yellowing going on, which is making it look cozy. But it's an unfortunate effect of, at least for me, the unfortunate effect of making his eyes look almost silver as opposed to blue. But so interesting, these accent colors here, these blues and kind of purpley, reddish purple. It's a little more pinky purple than this mahogany, and you can see it in the paintings here. But this blue here, this blue highlight, I really think, like, this highlight is intentional because it is actually this here, here, and even I think this little white thing here. Small, 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 medium, large. You see what I mean? And now on this side, now we have a little bit of a balance where the larger collection of things is on this side. And so do you see how this is like, I don't know. I'm not a professional interior designer, and I'm not even like a super expert on complicated compositions, but even down to this detail, the LaCroix, this yellow here in the speakers, the yellow, you have that tied across. This is what I do in my composition. This is what you should. This is what illustrators do, at least in their compositions, when you talk about bringing colors into different parts of the piece. And it's also another one we have 3, like odd numbers usually look more satisfying to the eye. 1, 2, 3. It brings more movement. Like sometimes deliberate symmetry is good for like if it's contrasting to a lot of movement, it gives a sense of like stability. But yeah. And okay, so what's interesting about this, especially in the carpet, you can see this deliberate choice of the desaturated like blue color that is color-wise similar to this Greg blue. This is a little bit more teal in the actual screenshot, but kind of in that same zone. This is a deliberate choice because in the color grading they've done, you can kind of see here the shadow color ends up being this blue, or at least it has that impression. So this accent ends up really going well with these shadow tones, and you get a little bit of the purple as well. And what's crazy is you can even see here in this collection of images, like orange, and here too, although I'm covering it up a little, the orange in the glasses, and then all this purple, the purple, and there's purple here. You know, this is that blue that's very similar. It's echoing this. It's so now. So if you want to, if you're thinking about studying composition, look at Danny's background in this video, because there's a lot. Potted plant, right? And I even think if you look at the color grading, I don't know, this might be my perception, but these blacks kind of skew more cooler, which makes them look more towards this green. And that all that is it's making everything look more cohesive. Like it is a very designed color palette, right? Like these 3 main colors. This is a very cozy color palette. And they're creating accents that go with what would be naturally occurring shadow tones. And that's what makes this look very cohesive and beautiful. The one thing that I will say about this, however, is, and this is why I've picked this screenshot here. Oh, this screenshot. You see this red? Doesn't really fit in so well. And not really space for little nutcracker guy. Right? Which is fine. That's the thing. And people, whatever Danny wants to do with his brand, with his setup is totally fine. It's interesting. They've created this setup that we'll have to see, but just with the color and the way that everything is currently balanced, you might be able to get away with putting him here, but It's just like that red would stick out like a sore thumb, you know what I mean? So I'm just very curious. I'm curious of the fate of Little Nutcracker Guy, is what I'm saying. Very, very curious. I don't know if he's gonna make an appearance. And I don't want to say like, oh no, they could never, because I mean, clearly this is a very talented designer, and I'm sure they could pull off something. But yeah, what is the fate of Little Nutcracker Guy in the background of the videos? Maybe 2026 is 2025 is the last time we get to see him, perhaps. I don't know.